Let's look at some more advanced date functions. We'll start here in cell B1 and put January 1st, 2022. The EDATE function allows you to return a date that is a certain number of months before or after a date. So we'll type equals EDATE, and the first thing that you need to give this function is a start date. We'll type B1, and let's lock those references just for fun. And then let's say we wanted to go 1 month in advance of EDATE. We'll type a 1, and that gives us February 1st. If we pulled this over and we wanted to go 2 months prior, we can type a -2, and it's going to give us November 1st, 2021. So this is really handy if you have to create a list of dates each month. EOMONTH is a very similar function, but it will return the end date of a number of months before or after. So here, if we wanted to select B1 again and type a 1, that's going to return 2/28 of 2021. Same thing here, if we wanted to do -2, it's going to go back to November, but it's going to return the month end of that date. And even if you wanted to do something like you want to return the month end of this particular date, you could just type a 0 there and it returns January 31st, 2022. As an accountant, I really like the EOMONTH function because I rely on month-end dates quite a bit. The weekNum function simply returns the week number of a particular date. So if we type weekNum, that's going to just return the first week of the year. If we were to type do the weekNum of, say, the February 1st, that's going to be the 6th week number. Basically, the first day of the calendar year is considered week 1, and then it will count up from there. As I showed in the basic date function video, if you simply subtract days between two dates, it will return a whole number of days between those two dates. However, in a work setting, you often want to figure out how many work days are between certain numbers. So for that, we have a function called netWorkDays. Here we give the function a start date and then an end date. And you can do a list of holidays if you'd like. But if we press enter, then we see that from December 1st through December 6th, there are 4 business days or work days in between. You can also use a function called networkdays.intl, which behaves the same way, start and end date, but it allows you to put in a custom weekend to skip over. The default is Saturday and Sunday, but you can see the various combinations there, or even just having a 1-day weekend. Now let's come to this table here and look at a few more functions. We're starting here with 12/1/2021, and let's say we wanted to figure out what day of the week that date was. To do that, we can type equals weekday, and we'll refer to our date right there. And you can see the return type here. You have several options. This default option, it will return a 1 if it's a Sunday, and if it's a Saturday, it will return a 7 and everything in between. So we'll select that 1, and now we see that December 1st, 2021, which is a Wednesday, returned a 4. You may prefer to see an actual day of the week written out, and in that case, you can use the text formula for that. So type equals text and then select the date and press a comma, and here you can format the date however you want. For simplicity's sake, we'll type 3-letter Ds, which tells Excel to return the abbreviated day of the week, and you can see that it returns a Wednesday. If we wanted to create a table here with a number of days, we could pull this down, and Excel will automatically count up by day. You could also just simply add 1, and that's going to give you the same result. If you wanted to create a list of Wednesdays, you could refer to that first starting cell and just add 7, and then carry that down. And we can carry this formula down as well, and we've got all Wednesdays. So adding to dates or subtracting from dates are pretty simple in Excel. But again, in a work setting, let's say that you wanted to come up with a list of work days. To do that, you can use the workday function. Here you have a start date, and then you tell Excel how many work days you want to advance, or go backwards if you include a negative number. We'll just type a 1 right here, and then we'll bring this formula down. And you can see that what it's doing is it's skipping over weekends. So 12/3 is a Friday, and then the next date that it gives is the Monday. One thing to note is this will skip over any weekend and doesn't include any holidays built in. So let's say the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, is a company holiday, and so we don't want that to show up on our list. Let's come back in here. And in this workday function, you can also include a list of holidays. So right here, we've got this list of holidays right there, those 3 cells. We'll hit F4 to lock that reference. And now, when we double click this and bring it down, we can see that what it's done is it has skipped over the 24th and the 25th. The 25th because it's a Saturday, and the 24th because we listed it as a holiday. So it goes from Thursday to Monday. Same thing with the 31st of December. We listed that as a holiday, so it has skipped that holiday and gone to the next Monday. So if you use spreadsheets for work and have dates involved, a lot of these functions can be really useful as you're working with dates and trying to create data with dates.